Introducing your host, David Daniels II. If you made it to my channel, you are in the right place to be, so make yourself feel at home. And I want to say, welcome to Free Game. Here we discuss a lot of topics on self-growth, so you're going to leave out of here with some positive vibes, alright? I want to say, make sure you like and subscribe if you like what you see. Appreciate it. All right, so welcome back to Free Game. I got another one for you. Just want to talk about finances and talk about a couple of different options that people should be thinking about in the future, just to secure security. Obviously, you know that go hand in hand for those people and those individuals who are still in the dating world, when you know job security is everything, and making sure that you can provide for your family is very important. So, with that being said, my thing is, you have to realize that AI is obviously coming, and it's no way around it. It's like both sides has been pushing for it, to be honest. And the fact when you have two countries that are competing, the regulations kind of go out the window, and they kind of just speed up the process of what's kind of going on in the first place. So, I recommend that people do find some solid trades. You keep still trying to build up your resumes. Realize what are some things that you can take that's a necessity that people need, and try to build off of that. And there could be something that might be a self-sustained business in the future that you can do by yourself. So examples of that is, for example, cleaning air ducts. Figure out the price of how much it costs to clean air ducts for a home based on the square foot in your local area, how much it takes, if you need a box truck, a compressor, a vacuum, and try to create your own business. If you're doing landscaping, see how much it costs for an average for a landscaping, and try to do landscaping. Being a home painter, if you know how to paint houses, you get you a spray gun, you know how to market your work. That's just a part of it. Plumbing, electrician, knowing how to do drywall, home inspector. I would say a mortgage loaner, they get paid good money too. But I'm just saying, like, the things where you can branch off and you can do things on your own with still being super diverse. Realizing how to set you up a Roth account, because that is money that's not being taxed when you do start your career. And I always tell people, at this age, in this time of your life, we're not at a time where you can be and stay comfortable. Don't stay comfortable. Keep grinding. Keep thinking about the next bag, and realize and don't get caught up in emotions of working for somebody else and being stuck in the moment at your job, and not realizing that you should be focused on trying to better yourself and put yourself in a position where you're so not dependent on the person who hired you. Not saying you can show gratification, because there always is an exchange, but just know that you still work on self-growth and you trying to build something that's sustainable long-term. So, I always tell people, biggest thing I always tell people is find a void and try to fill that void. When you seek and you know there's a problem, try to figure out if you can offer the solution to that problem. And it could be a problem that you're going through with your own life, or that you see somebody else is struggling with. I mean, that's how most billion-dollar industries are created in the first place. You wouldn't have Uber, and if somebody didn't say, hey, man, we got all these elderly people, we got these people who are hungry, but what if we had a food service where they dropped off food to their house? I mean, you think about it. So I'll tell people, don't be so shy to adopt the plans of others and try to, place it in your own, atmosphere, and say that you can do it yourself, but you put your own twist on it. But yeah, when it comes down to stocks and investments, I know people always talk about NVIDIA, Palantir, My whole thing is right now, I'm just like, it's okay to be diverse when it's a normal economy, but when it's kind of like a little bit unnormal and you might not know which way things might go because of all the different tariffs that are in place, I would say, man, diversify. And the best way you can diversify is ETFs. Go around, do some research, look up different ETFs, look up the different companies they're associated with, see if they got a good range of company base, like large company base, less bonds, less yields, and see if they got companies that offer dividends where they pay out every month on an annually, and just try to diversify your platform. Like when the difference that people got to realize that if you are into the stock game, you gotta pay attention to the Fed meetings. You can't get so caught up and swept up with the news. You got to realize if the feds are going to put more money back into the stock market, then more revenue will sink back into, um, you know, for example, like crypto, if it's Bitcoin, if it's large companies, if you're doing the trade options, like you can make money on the way up and you can make money on the way down. Now the thing is, that's when you have more retail dollars out there. Most of the time, and this is the reality, when this interest rates are high, more retail dollars is gone, but also billionaires also pull their money out because they're not going to be left holding the bag. They've been clearly investing longer than you. So right now, you're at this weird place where you might be safe trying to dollar cost average into certain positions, and that's what you kind of could and should be doing. But just know that don't put your whole life savings into something that's super unstable. And like I said, when you dollar cost average, you putting stuff in that you are currently willing to lose. And what I mean by that, if I know if I'm trying to cut back on spending fast food, and I know fast food is costing me 20, 30, $40, then I put that 40 and $30 into some type of investment. You get what I'm saying? Reinvest. You reinvesting your energy into something that's positive, that's gonna build you something in the first place. Um, for those individuals who have kids, like I said, I always recommend people to, if you are good with knowing how to pay on your bills and your credit, then establish some type of credit for your children out there in the future. So when they get out of school, they have some equity and they have some treasure. You can also establish a trust fund. It's not going to hurt for you to not establish a trust fund for these individuals, just so they can have some security. By that time, you should also be trying to let them know how to work a small budget. Give them a small budget. Tell them, hey, this is what I want you to work on, and you go from there. You make sure that they can trust that they can manage a small budget. There's nothing wrong with that. So, um, I do realize currently why it would be in the interest of the government to try to lower the interest rates, because then what happens is you refinance at a lower debt and you're not be paying $1 trillion in interest. You can be paying something less, and that's what I see and most people have their eye on. If you are holding a house or any form of debt, is that you want to try to lower the interest and be locked in on something that's more affordable. And because the thing is, the reality is this: when people say, the price of living is way too high, which it is. Um, but people know that what happens is they give out these raises, and every blue moon you might get a raise, and you got to realize it's coming from them printing more money. They're printing more money, and the value of that one single dollar is becoming less because of their printing more money. That's why if you hold cash and you put cash in a savings account over 10 years, it's not going to gain you enough interest to make you make money. You're going to lose money. That $100 is going to be worth about $70 to $60 if you hold it for 10 years or more, depending on how things is moving. So you gotta have it in some places where it can grow and outpace either the market or the fact of inflation. Plain and simple. But that's just some financial advice. I'm hoping that people can grow financially, build them some equity, um, get them some options. And the whole purpose of this is trying to create financial liberation. Financial liberation is a way where you are not enslaved to the debt collectors. So being diverse, find a void. Don't be enslaved to these debt collectors to where, I've seen it where you had millionaires being enslaved to billionaires. The more money you make, sometimes being the bigger the bill you might have. Lifestyle. So just trying to change and give people a different perspective on life. Make sure you like, subscribe to a free game. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And we got my Patreon going on X. And yeah, that's what I got for y'all. Peace.